For me, this game that was started using this technology stuff, technology experiment, apparently it doesn't help me at all unless some noise is heard. But the latest twist of the noise and the banging, apparently, is that it turns the danger back on me. So police will not assist me if I react to this radicalist who attacks me every day, countless times. Because they have to feel sorry for me for some reason. It's impossible for the job to just be done. This is what the radicalist wants me to believe. It's impossible for them to just do their jobs as normal people who are employed to protect and serve. They cannot just attend to Zubair at flat 4. Apparently, they use the same experimental technology. They've been convinced to use that to assess me first as someone who has mental health issues. Do you know how disrespectful that is? This guy developed this technology to treat me inhumanely, and now he uses it as if it's some sort of level of assessment. The manipulation is if I know something and I express it, then I've gone ahead of the police. Then they can't do anything until they think of something smart to go ahead of me before they can actually arrest Zubair. Can you imagine what a weird world I'm living in? Thank goodness a few people are now snapping out of it. They won't express or spew nonsense. What kind of society am I in? At least even where I live, people are quieter now. Except Zubair, of course. Zubair is getting louder and more expressive. From the time when he decided that, okay, he's going to be suggesting and proposing marriage to me here and there between his attacks, his violating attacks on my life. Never mind the deaths he has created against my name, against my life. His solution is that somehow he will marry me. I don't know what he thinks, how he thinks all these deaths that he has caused me. From his showcasing that he can hack and assign other hackers that he's training against me. They can apparently call businesses and say, oh, this person has mental health issues, so don't listen to them. Or play around with their minds. Do you know what mental health issues are? I think they meant learning disabilities, but actually these people will actually go ahead with it. Do you know that someone can have a moment of insanity once a day and not actually be diagnosed with mental health disease? Do you know how wide the spectrum is for mental health issues? So sometimes I'll have people on the phones while trying to sort out things, organize my life, my property. People will be so aggressive for no apparent reason. That could be an expression of some sort of mania spectrum in itself. Because if you can't communicate with someone, to just say, hello, my name is, I'm calling from, this is what it's about. I've been a call center girl before, so I know how to communicate. I've been an accounting and admin person for multinational companies, property management. Name it, what have I not done? How can I not somehow associate that, okay, I might have an understanding? The only thing I haven't done is deal with mania, mental health issues directly, that I never wanted to deal with, even as a minister. That I would need a certificate for. I won't deal with that to that level. If I come across it, if someone says they came across me as a minister in that aspect, they'll have to explain to me how I minister to them in that way. maybe when I was singing and they just felt calm. But if their things did not leave and they're continuing to take medication, then I did not deal with their things. Their things were just passive. Or maybe they stepped out and waited for them outside. Otherwise, I'm not trying to exercise mania and deal with the backlash. I'm not assigned to it. If I don't have a certificate, and in this season, if I haven't got a husband, no, because I need the support. I cannot be surrounded with this kind of technology and abuse and be stepping into a role like that. It's too dangerous for my life. Too dangerous. So, people are being trained to think they're equipped to deal with mental health issues or influence me to become aggressive. So if I threaten this guy who created this nonsense, he'll call a police officer who he can manipulate. Do you know what this police officer suggested? But okay, maybe he might marry me. But his suggestion was followed by, perhaps we'll make porn videos. So his marriage proposal is not to disarm this perpetrator, this radicalist. It's to appease the radicalist so that he'll keep on having access to pornography, to torment my life for the rest of it. And is a man in uniform. So what would be happening to me? I actually don't know if this guy is still in the job, but I can pick him up in a lineup. Let's keep this video short. How can this guy actually assist a radicalist like Zubir to declutter his property, put things in a van? The evidence of his experimenting technology. Children ran around carrying that equipment. I just didn't capture it on video. And that child now, when it's bedtime, he can stay up the whole night because he's been taught how to use it. Even those children confessed the other night that they were learning how to marry a woman who's older with mental health issues. Apparently using this technology, it's a slave mentality, succumbing the woman to severe beatings, bleeding, torment, extreme violation, extremism, stealing important documents for my property, stealing clothing items for witchcraft purposes. Should I say anything to someone else, they'll break into my property to return the things in a different location, so that I should be grateful when I see those items, so that I should be grateful when they've returned them. That's the other train of thought. And some people will pretend that this is not happening. My canto, this guy proposing marriage to someone like me. No. It's in my CVs and whatnot. And the only way he can think of approaching me is to beat me senseless, weaken me to intimidation, so that I will be whimpering and just say yes. If that's all it takes for me to survive like a normal person. There's no normalcy with this guy. There's no normalcy with this guy. While I kept my head down and was intimidated and whatnot, I've been watching, listening, how he treats the women who he stays with. They don't walk with their heads high. They just confess we're just being used in a swinging culture. The one who wanted to be married, who was originally contracted before, adapted, wore a dress, walked around in a dress. He shouted at her, screamed like she was nothing. Now he wants to marry me. No. After treating, let's not even talk about those women. Me, the way when I have a sexual partner, he will beat my womb until I'm bleeding like I'm ejecting I don't know how many months child. This is the human being he thinks now he's going to marry after getting her arrested, because I'm standing up to him now. I'll stand outside here and tell him, no, Zubia, you're out of order. Rubbish. And sometimes, yes, I'll get angry and throw something at his wall there. And he'll be trying to, if I'm intimidated, apparently, the police will come and arrest the one who's intimidated. If I get angry and aggressive, the police will come for me because I'm aggressive, because I'm an angry black woman. Huh? Huh? Excuse me. And the police officer who he works with depends on me turning left or right to determine how he's going to act or influence the rest of the police officers. So if people who are advising that officer say, actually, I've heard him say a lot of times, countless times, that officer has been to my address here. They came in with his partner, but he's the one who calls Zubia a lot now. They came in with his partner to reveal some sort of PCN from another address I sometimes used to go to. Apparently, he should have arrested me that night for any reason. They only met with me because I looked out in case my partner was coming that night. So apparently someone as short as my partner at the time turned up with another officer. So I may have underestimated this situation. This guy perhaps was already in on this game. Maybe he's already in with these terrorists. Let me stop my video. I don't know how much trouble I'm in right now.